are here on the central coast of California in the Santa Maria Valley.
We produce world-class wines in this area.
Wine country done differently.
This is really a farm community. This is down-to-earth type living.
Less than 300 miles from San Francisco and on the northernmost part of Santa Barbara County, you'll find
such a special area.
Wine is really good here. I mean, we have really good wines.
An unpretentious place that provides an excellent change of pace.
I would love for more people to visit and realize that.
We are at Cottonwood Canyon Winery in the beautiful Santa Maria Valley. We have the San Rafael mountain range over our shoulders.
We have the farmland, vineyard land, and then the mountain range. This is the only area in most of the United States where the mountain range runs east to west.
I would love it if you could give us just maybe a brief history or a little bit of information about the wines from Santa Maria Valley.
The beginning of our history as a vine growing area was probably about 1973 in what they call the Nielsen Vineyard. Before the early 1980s, owners would plant what they wanted to plant in vineyards. Nowadays, those guys taught us that you can't plant what you want to plant. You have to plant what grows in this area. So with that mountain impact, we can grow phenomenal Chardonnay, Pinot Noir. There's about 22,000 acres of vineyards in Santa Barbara County. We're in the northern part of the county and where the cool climate is. There's a warm climate in Santa Ynez and there's a cooler climate called Santa Rita Hills. So we have three distinct regions. But about the 22,000 acres, about half were Chardonnay planted, and about a fourth of that was then Pinot planted. And then Syrah took about 5%, and there were 70-some varietals taking up their balance of that 4 or 5% left. So we're primarily growing those three varietals. And back then, this probably was one of the initial vineyards planted north-south. And that's a big deal because that allows the wind to go down through the vineyard without having a negative impact on the vines. And believe it or not, that's a big deal because the wind can break the vines and canes as they get too big. So by that, allowing that wind to flow through the vines, it makes them much easier to grow. Climate's a big deal here. Climate's more of our emphasis because it's so unique. It's with that mountain range protecting us and giving us the impact of the ocean, that really helps our growing season. One of the things unique about wines growing in our valley is that we have a high level of natural acidity. We can achieve the level that the French achieve in acidic level, which is a natural preservative for the wine, because of our weather conditions. We let the wine do its own thing without trying to interfere with it. And I don't use any chemicals. The wines are truly experiment from the vineyard. It's a vineyard-driven wine process, not a winemaking process. One of the things that's unique about Cottonwood is our ageability. We've trademarked the term distinctively different age-worthy wines, and we've trademarked it because it's unique to see a Chardonnay. This is a 9-year-old Chardonnay, and it's not at its peak yet. So it's probably 3 or 4 more years from its peak. And what we try to teach people here is, traditionally, when you pour wine in a glass, people will do this. They'll go shake this around right away. We don't want you to do that.
I already did it.
Yeah.
Smack my hand. Smack my hand.
You're changing the wine.
Yeah.
So we want you to taste the wine as it is. That's why we want it served at room temperature. And the wines are aging, and it's nothing that I'm doing as a winemaker. It's just the natural high acidity that comes out of the vineyard. And I don't change it.
You said room temperature, and it depends on the room that you're in. So what would you say is the exact temperature you like to serve?
We like to serve our wines around 62 degrees Fahrenheit.
Okay.
That's a white wine. Red wine like to serve a little warmer, maybe 68 degrees.
You were one of the first in Santa Barbara County to put caves in the winery.
Correct. Better than a dream come true. We could not have made a plan and executed more perfectly than our caves have resulted in. The humidity's high. It stays around 90-some%, and the temperature stays constant at 62. And those are really, really nice for aging wine.
And then another thing that I was thinking about when I was thinking about Santa Maria Valley is kind of an affordable getaway, yes. Wouldn't you say?
Oh, yes, that's definitely economics. And that's one of the things here is there's enough of good national hotels and some local hotels.
One of the things that make Santa Maria Valley so different or unique is, of course, the wine, but something about the way you feel when you get here. You kind of like let loose or unplug.
And that's true because if you look around you, you see more farmland and you see developments, and that's a clue by itself. This is down-to-earth type living. I think that uniqueness is bringing people here because we produce world-class wines in this area. Stuff we produce here is really high-end.
Yeah, great wine, great people. Do you have a cheers or a toast, anything you say around your house?
No, just L'Haim, which is a Jewish, I'm not Jewish, but it's L'Haim.
L'Haim to life.